God, if you're reading this letter, it means you didn't answer in time. That was the first thing Marcus wrote. God, if you're reading this letter, it means you didn't answer in time. That was the first thing Marcus wrote. And then he stared at the page in silence, as if he weren't sure it had been him who put those words there. He didn't know why he had written God, nor was he even sure he believed in him that night. He was 39 years old, with a life that worked on the outside, and something completely extinguished within. The letter had no order. Crossed out sentences, cut off ideas, a simple confession written without correction. I don't know how to pray properly. Followed by another, smaller one beneath it. I used to, or at least I think I did. He wasn't crying or screaming. He was just tired, with that kind of tiredness that doesn't show, the kind that accumulates in routine, in waking up without wanting to and going to bed hoping not to think. He wrote, I am tired more than once, as if repeating it might make it more real. And then he added a sentence he hesitated to leave in. If this is all there is, I understand now. Only to add afterward, almost guiltily, I think. He went out for a walk without a plan, the letter folded in his pocket. He took streets he didn't usually walk down and ended up standing in front of an old church without remembering having decided to go there. The door was open, and that bothered him, because a closed door would have given him an excuse to keep going. But he went in anyway, quietly, and sat down in the last pew. The place was cold and empty, with no music and no people. Just wood, a cross at the front, and a silence that didn't console, but forced him to think. Marcus took out the letter, read it again, and thought about tearing it up, about putting it away, about doing nothing at all, until he simply left it tucked between the back of the pew and a worn Bible. He didn't pray, didn't ask for anything. He just left quickly, as if staying 1 second longer might demand something from him that he wasn't ready to give. 2 days later, a woman who cleaned the church found the letter. She kept it, thinking someone had forgotten it, and read it later, not quite knowing why. When she read the first line, she stopped. She didn't cry or grow alarmed. She only sighed, because she recognized that nameless weariness the letter seemed to reveal. She didn't know what to do with those words, so she showed them to the pastor and told him, awkwardly, that she didn't know the author but felt that something was wrong. That Sunday, the pastor spoke differently. He didn't mention letters or farewells. He simply said that the church was also for those who were tired of pretending they were okay. Marcus was there, sitting in the back as always, neither confronted nor moved. Just still, as if those words had landed exactly where they didn't hurt so much. At the end of the service, no one approached him, and that relieved him, until a woman called to him from the back and asked without any spiritual tone if he was okay. Marcus opened his mouth to say yes, then closed it, and finally admitted that he wasn't okay, even though he couldn't explain exactly why. She didn't pray for him or give him any answers. She just said that sometimes not being able to explain was already a form of honesty, and they sat down to talk about simple things. The following days weren't any different. Marcus continued to doubt and grow weary, but something inside him stopped breaking, as if he no longer had to carry everything alone. A week later, he wrote another line on a fresh sheet of paper. I don't know if you answered me, but someone saw me, and this time he didn't leave it anywhere. Sometime later, he passed by the church again, kept walking, returned, went inside, and sat down, without speaking to God, without asking for anything, just staying there. For the first time in a long while, he didn't feel the urge to leave, and for someone as broken as he was, that was enough to keep going for one more day.